Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Here's a real small sampling of some of my battery chargers. I started using rechargeable batteries probably 10 years or so ago and really haven't used alkalines too much since then. For the most part, I try to use either nickel metal hydride, just regular lithium, whether they're AA's, AAA's, or lithium ion like in flashlights and stuff like that. And I have hundreds and hundreds of batteries and probably another 5 or 6 chargers or so. But without a doubt, my favorite charger is this XTAR VC4. I've had this thing for several years. It was super inexpensive. I mean, it was like $10 or something like that. It charges nickel metal hydride, it charges the lithium ion, and on a whole variety of sizes. You can charge everything in this from like the 10440s or the AAA size all the way up to a 32650. It's just a great charger. And again, I bought this one and I've used it hundreds and hundreds of times without any type of issues whatsoever. So XTAR reached out to me and said that they had a charger that's kind of specifically designed for AA and AAA batteries and asked if I would take a look at it. And I love that VC4 so much, so I wanted to see, what this one's about. They've also sent me some of their rechargeable lithium ion 1.5 volt AA batteries to take a look at. These are very interesting. So excited to kind of check these out. So as always, we'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all the features and specifications, show you guys how to use this, and then give some thoughts on it. XTAR usually has pretty nice retail packaging. Just going to show you around the box here real quick. And then let's get this thing open up here. So it looks like we have the charger and then a USB A to C cable and then a manual down in there. Quickly show you guys the manual. Looks like there's multiple languages. I'll just show you the English. I don't think I even mentioned it earlier, but this model is the L8. And I was looking and it has basically a 1-year warranty, and if something were to happen after a year, they'll still do a free repair but then just charge for the parts. So pretty good warranty. Give you guys some close-ups here of this charger. It's made out of some type of like ABS plastic. It's very lightweight, but it does feel pretty sturdy overall. It does have some like raised feet through here, but they are not rubberized. They're still the same plastic. Got a little bit of information there. Grab you guys some unofficial dimensions on it, but as you can see, a dollar bill pretty much completely covers it. We're at probably like 5 3/4 inches long. Just shy of 3 inches wide and right about 1 inch high, and a weight on it 3.7 ounces. I'll throw that cable on there too. The whole package is 4.5 ounces. So as you can see, there are 8 slots or 8 bays here. This can charge 1.5 volt and 1.2 volt AA and AAA size. It can do lithium ion and nickel metal hydride, and it can do those simultaneously. So you could have 2 or 3 of one and 5 or 6 of another, whatever. The output is 1/2 amp on all 8 slots, which is actually fairly fast for AA, AAA size. In fact, I think it can charge 8 AA batteries in like 2.5 hours or so, and 8 AAA batteries in 1.5 hours. I can tell you that the L8 has an automatic cutoff that prevents overcharging. So whatever the capacity of your battery is, let's just say it's 4,000 milliamp hours. Once it gets there, the charger will detect that and basically stop charging that battery. Another thing it can do is if you have basically a completely dead battery, like an over-discharged battery. Maybe you took a lithium ion battery all the way down to where it was 0 and then you didn't charge it for years. You can actually put those over-discharged batteries in here and it will revive them. If you've noticed that there's basically a hole that's in here, well, that serves two purposes. One is it prevents any type of heat from collecting while this is charging. And then the second thing is it allows you to basically just pop all of these batteries out with ease. And if any of you guys have big hands and stuff, you know that sometimes it's really hard to get batteries out of like certain types of chargers because of like these lips on here. It's really hard to pop those out. This also has a reverse polarity protection. So the batteries are supposed to go in like this, but if you were to put one in the wrong way, like this, it won't charge that bay. And we'll try that in a bit, and I'll make sure that that obviously works. I do like the fact that the L8 just takes a regular USB-C cable. You can basically use any cable you want, whereas my old VC4 takes this barrel plug style. So if something happens to this cable, I'm kind of out of luck until I can figure out that size and get a replacement. So I said earlier in the video that these batteries are somewhat unique. I'm going to be honest with you, I have never heard of 1.5 volt lithium ion rechargeable double A's. So even though I rarely use alkalines, I always do keep some around. But I just wanted to show you that the XTAR is basically the exact same size as any other AA battery. So when you look at like battery capacity or how long is it going to power your device or whatever, a typical alkaline, like a Duracell or an Energizer, they have about 2,000 milliamp hours. And when you look at an Eneloop, which is widely considered the best rechargeable battery, they're pretty close to that. They're at 1,900 milliamp hours. These XTARs are coming in quite a bit higher than both of those at 2,500 milliamp hours. And they're able to do that at a significantly lower weight. I'm not sure how they do it, but so an Energizer is 26 grams. Eneloop, 26 grams. XTAR, 16 grams. So basically a 25% more capacity at almost half the weight. So a normal AA battery is 1.5 volts. These Eneloops, which I've had and used for years and years and years, work pretty well in most things. I'm trying to see if it'll tell us on here. These, however, are 1.2 volts. And I have tried putting these in certain appliances or devices or electronics or whatever, and these simply will not work because the voltage is too low on them. These XTARs are 1.5 volts, so it's the same voltage as a regular AA battery. So these will work in anything that a regular AA battery works in. I don't know all the science behind it, but I can tell you that a lithium ion battery charges faster than a nickel metal hydride. Even if your charger says it's 0.5 amps or whatever, these will charge faster than what these will. And another advantage of lithium ion over nickel metal hydride is like the self-discharge rate. So like let's say you charge this up fully and then you just put it on a shelf. This will maintain that charge way longer, however many months it might be, but longer than what a nickel metal hydride will. Another advantage of like lithium ion is kind of how it delivers that power to your device. Lithium ion kind of tends to maintain its voltage throughout the entire use, and then after however long, then it finally cuts off. Whereas like nickel metal hydride, like it'll start at like full voltage, but it actually like goes down much faster to reach that. So if you have something that requires a certain amount of voltage, these don't always work for it, or they don't work very long in that. I don't know what voltage these XTARs were shipped with, but let's take a peek here and see what these are. So that is 1.536 volts. I'll just do a couple of them so we can get an idea here. 1.537. Now let's compare that to these inner loops, which are only supposed to be 1.2. So that's 1.318. And then just a regular alkaline, 1.582. .531. So the XTARs are 1.5 plus volts. All right, let's get some power going to this, and we will see how this thing charges up. This cable is probably close to 2 feet in length, so pretty decent on that. And again, I think you can use any USB-C cable. It does not have to be an A to a C. If yours is C to C, you don't have to use their cable, but I'll show you with the A because that's what's provided here. All right, so we'll get this plugged in. Looks like we have some flashing to let you know that they're all ready to go. And we'll just throw in a mix of lithium ion and nickel metal hydride just to kind of see what happens here. All right, so we got a red here. And now if you look right here, this flash is actually the battery itself flashing. It will turn solid green once it's fully topped off, and then this will also turn green. Another unique thing about this is you won't be able to really see it on the battery itself, but when this battery gets low and it needs charged, it will actually flash to let you know. Throw another XTAR battery in here to make sure that it's all going to work. I think it takes just a second for that to start flashing. Then let's do a nickel metal hydride. Just throw it in here. Now I'm not sure what the red flash means. I'll have to look into that and let you guys know. I don't know if it means that it's not charging because the others are solid red. But let's try this. I'll try it the right way first and then I'll reverse it to see. Maybe they flash to indicate that it is nickel metal hydride. So according to the manual, if the red LED is flashing slowly, it's recognizing or activating. So I'll let that go for a bit and see if it like picks up what the batteries are. So I've let this go like 10 plus minutes, and those two are still flashing red, almost as if it's not recognizing those batteries. I am just going to make sure that this works. I'm going to reverse this to make sure that it doesn't charge and see what type of warning we get. Or so it's not even showing. It's basically not even indicating there. Let me flip this other one and see what we get here. I just want to see if we get any type of warnings or anything. Yeah, so it basically won't even charge if you put the battery in the wrong way. So I'm going to plug my old charger in here, and same two batteries that it wasn't recognizing on that one. Let's just see if it recognizes them here. And so yeah, the VC4 recognized them right away and is starting to charge them now. So what I'm going to do is pull these back out, put them back in the other charger, and then see if we ever get either the solid red lights or the green lights saying that they're fully charged. I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple more of these XTARs on here as well. That way if I go to test it and whatever I'm using it on, if they take 4 batteries, I'll have 4 ready to go. So it ended up taking about 20 minutes total for it to recognize those inner loops. I actually got a different brand thinking that maybe there was a problem with the inner loops, and I just put that in a few minutes ago, but it has recognized them now and it is charging correctly. And as you can see, once they're done charging, the LEDs up here turn solid green and the LEDs on the battery themselves stop flashing. All right, got all those batteries charged up just fine. I did a mix of lithium ion and nickel metal hydride, again, just fine. So my wife keeps this little Christmas tree on her desk year round. And it's kind of hard to see here, but you can see that it's lit up here. This is an example. I have to keep regular AA's, like alkaline AA's. These are just like Amazon basic batteries, okay? The reason for that is when I try to take like these nickel metal hydride 1.2 volts, and I'll show you that the batteries have full charge on them. You can see the indicator over here, 1.245 on that one. And this one here, 1.251, so they're both fully charged. And if I try putting these batteries in this tree, you can see it will not work. We're turned on right here. This side's on a timer. This side's fully on, but it will not come on. For whatever reason, it has to be a full 1.5 volts. You can see the position here all the way to the right. So what I'm going to do is try these XTAR batteries and see if it will work with them. Haven't tried this yet, so we will find out here. And yeah, it just lit up, no problem at all. So it definitely has to do with the voltage. There's multiple things that I try, the loops and different nickel metal hydride that are 1.2, and it will not work. And I know it's a voltage thing, but yeah, these XTARs seem to work just fine. So that will definitely save some money to be able to use rechargeables in this little thing, because she leaves it on basically all the time. And we go through batteries like every 2 or 3 weeks in this. So we go on cruises several times a year, and I like to take this battery powered clock with me. Most cruise ships do not have any type of outlets or USB ports or anything like that near the bed. So your phone is several feet away, and the staterooms are so dark at night, and I like to always be able to see what time it is when I wake up. So let's see if these XTARs will work in this. Usually just 2 is all it takes to power it on. And yep, it's on now, working perfectly fine. Another thing I think these would be useful for is if you have any type of two-way radios or walkie-talkies, especially like in a grid down scenario, to be able to still communicate at least short distances. And if you had a small solar panel that had a USB port, you could basically recharge these batteries, indefinitely. I did a review on these night vision binoculars a few months ago, and these things absolutely chew through the batteries. It takes 4, and you only get like an hour of viewing or recording time, and that was with Duracells. So it can get real expensive if you are using this, frequently. So again, these batteries would be very handy for something like this. And finally, I keep an old school like little radio cassette player. Again, just for like if there's power outages and stuff like that, to be able to like stay informed, like with your local, radio and stuff like that. So being able to power something like this again during an emergency or whatever. And again, you can recharge these with a solar panel if you need to. But great thing about these, like I mentioned earlier in the video, is that when you charge them up, they'll maintain that charge for a really long time. I don't know since I just got them the exact time, but I bet it's anywhere close to a year or more. So hopefully seeing them used in a few things was somewhat beneficial. I never knew that they made a lithium ion 1.5 volt AA battery. I mean, this is great. If you're a parent that has kids' toys, you know how fast you go through AA batteries. If your kids are into like gaming, Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that, those controllers take AA batteries, and you can go through those quite frequently too. So what I've seen so far with these, basically anything that you use a regular AA battery for, you can use these XTAR batteries. They have a higher capacity than most nickel metal hydride batteries and normal AA batteries for that matter. They have more voltage than what the nickel metal hydride, so they should work in just about everything. And they have like a longer cycle, like you can recharge them more times than what you can the nickel metal hydrides. I don't see any downsides to them really at all. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I've had that other XTAR battery charger for years. It's honestly the only charger that I use now. I absolutely love it. This one seems like it's going to be really good too. It's well designed and it's going to work great for your AA and AAA size batteries. So at the time of me recording this video, I cannot find the charger on Amazon. I can find the batteries on there, but they are available on XTAR's website. So the charger with the 8 batteries is $66. There are some other options, like if you only want 4 batteries or if you want the ones that don't have as much capacity, it could be cheaper. But this exact setup right here is $66. And if you buy a 16 pack of Duracells or Energizer, they're like 20 bucks or more now. And again, they're one-time use. These should last for years and years and years, and honestly thousands of recharges. So in the long run, you're definitely going to save a lot of money by using this style of battery. But alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up. If you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.